putting the question is that, is it really important to know the language? Because if it's so difficult as many people think it is, why even go into the task of doing it? Because if you can have a secretary who can help you get by, then maybe that's enough. And if you ask an average expat in China, you will get both answers. You will get an answer which says that, it's all right, I have a secretary and most of my colleagues can speak in English, so I'm all right. And you will also get an answer which says that if you really want to get things done in China, and if you really want to be effective in China, there is no escaping from knowing the language, at least knowing some of the language. I come from the second group. I personally believe that no matter which country you go to, knowing the language is almost like being able to tell yourself that you are doing full justice to whatever you're doing in that new country or culture. I mean, imagine going to New York but not knowing English. How much of New York will you really be able to experience other than being able to identify the Statue of Liberty and stuff that you see in Hollywood movies, which were perhaps dubbed for you? So it's very similar to that. I think coming into China, you can be actually very, very effective if you can speak some Chinese. The other interesting thing is that the whole process of even trying to learn, if you are really concerted, if you're really honest, if you're really committed to learn the language, the Chinese really respects you. And in China, if a local Chinese starts respecting your desire to learn the language and starts observing that you are actually making progress in learning the language, you're already building a lot of bridges with the locals, which I think is very, very important, especially in businesses which have got a lot of people interactions. And in China, we all know a lot of things happen on the basis of relationships and connections. So knowing the language is that much more important. Even if you don't speak the language, being able to understand the language is at least very, very important, so that even if somebody is doing interpretation work for you, you should be able to know, has there something being missed in what is being translated and being told to you. So I think the language is critical, and there are no two ways. There's nothing to really say that it's all right if you don't know Chinese in China. You will only be more effective if you know the language.